Good morning, everybody. What a great morning it is. Happy Thursday morning. Happy Thursday morning. It's time for Morning Manna. Got a word for you on this morning. We've been talking about leadership. And giving you some insights as to how to lead. Because if you have a problem, leadership is the solution. And so we've just been talking about this whole thing about leadership. We're going to give Facebook Live a few seconds to get our audience together, and then we're going to jump right into the word. I'm going to give you the text to talk and the takeaway. You got to do something. You got to share the manna. You got to put your comments in the thing. You got to have the watch parties. You got to do all of that. I'm going to give you the word. Let's make this a partnership. Let's make it a community. I got to do something. You have to do something. We get into this thing together. Now, we've been dealing with leadership all week long. I'm leading up to actually launching my I Lead Academy. My I Lead Academy, anything that you need to improve yourself, to solve the problems in your life, trust me, you can get it on I Lead Academy. So I've been sharing this whole thing about leadership and just want to continue this whole conversation about leading, Stop following, start leading. That's what you were born to do. You are a ruler and a super ruler. You're supposed to have dominion, be fruitful, and multiply. Two different things. You got to be fruitful and multiply. You got to be fruitful in as much as that you then everything you do causes it to flourish. And then multiply is that you redo yourself, if you will. You got to have another one of you, if you will. And that means developing other people. Well, we're going to take another second or two. We're going to get right into the word today. Look, this is what I want to share with you. We're going to talk about home training today. We're going to talk about home training. Let's get into it. The text to talk and the takeaway. 1 Timothy 3:5. 1 Timothy 3:5. If anyone does not manage his house, they cannot manage in the house of God. 1 Timothy 3:5. If anyone does not manage their house, they cannot manage in the house of God. Now, I want you to notice a couple things about this text. First of all, in my Bible, is parenthetical. In other words, it's an insert. It is almost an afterthought in terms of saying, look, you got to know. You already know. Or have you forgotten? This is a given. But just in case you don't think it's a given, just in case you're not sure, let me insert it, is what Paul is saying. Now, Paul is writing to Timothy. Timothy is having some trouble in terms of the church at Ephesus in which he's pastoring. He's a young pastor there. And so Paul says, look, you struggling with some leaders? Let me give you criteria for leadership. And the basic criteria to lead anybody is that they have led in their home first. That they lead in their home first before they begin to do that. We used to call it home training. The worst thing in the world in my growing up is for somebody was to say to my parents, can I get an amen out there? You ain't got no home training. That was the top offense or top thing to say about somebody's child. When they come over your house and they don't know how to act, they ain't got no home training. And does anybody out there know what I'm talking about? I mean, the world would be over when I went home and an adult said your child acted as if they didn't have any home training. Why? Why is that important? Because everything starts and ends at home. The data tells us, statistics tells us that if you see criminal behavior, if you see trouble behavior, if you see a person that does not know how to work in the world external to their home, it started in the home. That's where you learn how to deal with other people. That's where you learn relationships. That's how you learn how to follow, and that's how you learn how to lead. What's the talk this morning? The talk this morning is this. The first thing is, do you know how to lead your money? Lead your money. If you broke all the time, if you don't have a budget, if you just can't resist a sale, if you always got to spend, if you do not know how to manage or lead your money will leave you. Let me say that again. If you don't know how to lead your money will leave you. And when you don't have no money, trust me, The Bible said that money answers all things. So you better understand something. You better know how to lead your money. And that comes from home training. What kind of home are you leading with respect to money? Okay, here's the second thing. Lead your mouth. Lead your mouth. How do you settle disputes and disagreements in your home? A leader knows how to lead their mouth. A soft word will remove wrath. It's like medicine to the bone. That's what the proverbial writer said. You have to understand something, that your words have power, and they can permanently, without the salve and the balm of the blood of Christ, they can cause a damage that goes beyond the moment of the disagreement. So you got to lead with your mouth. I remember when I was in the military and we would be in formation. Yes, I know some of y'all say the Air Force, you guys were never in formation. Yes, we were. We were randomly, periodically, we were in formation and out and on the parade and doing those kinds of things. And in order for everybody to hear you, you have to lift your voice and use your mouth. What are you doing and how are you leading with your mouth, with your words? So you lead with your money in your home. You lead with your mouth. How do you settle disputes? And the way you settle them in your home, trust me, is the way you're going to settle them outside of that. And here's the third and final thing. Lead with your manners. Lead with your manners. Have you ever noticed how coarse, how rude the world has become? Have you ever noticed how offensive that we have become? I mean, notice it. You look in the news. Somebody breaking somebody's arm because they did not put on a mask in the store. The person just came up to you doing their job. Sir, would you please put on a mask because we're dealing with this coronavirus? Clip, broken arm. Yep. Spitting on people because they don't wear a mask or ask you to wear a mask. Licking people. Have you ever seen such manners or the lack of manners? Well, it starts at the top. Trust me. John Maxwell says that leadership is like the lid principle. The lid principle is that everything can't get beyond the lid. The lid. We are led by the lid, and it reflects in the body in which you're leading. Now, check this out. Who is the most disputed? Who has no manners and an offensive and insult people? You got it. Trump himself. Always insulting people. Always saying something negative about a person, like a kid in a playground. And that's how you know whether or not a person can lead. Do they have manners? How do they manage their mouth? And how do they manage their money? You can't lead me, baby, if you can't lead your money, your manners, and your mouth. That's what we're talking about. Lead in your home. Home rule, I call it, or home training. What's the takeaway this morning? Leadership starts at home. Leadership starts at home. Hey, if you want more, just go to ileadacademy.net. I'll see you tomorrow morning with more morning manna, because I tell you, if you have a problem, leadership is the solution. God bless you. Share the manna. Bye now.